Minimal viable product. One of the most popular technique that practitioners use or the agile teams use in order to validate their understanding regarding product. And one of the key component here is to ensure that the feature that the team is building is meeting the client expectation. This can also be used in your day-to-day work as well. So for example, when I'm preparing a training session like this, I make sure that my audio is available, my video is clearly there, and I test it with a sample video in order to make sure that I don't end up creating a 2-hour video session and later I realized that my audio was not working. I also used this MVP with many of my clients, and this is quite effective technique because it helps us to understand the initial assumption, but at the same time, client might have a different expectation at the beginning, but 1 month later, they might think of something else. And this also help us as a team to course correct our internal processes and features. So it essentially means that we have a small set of features or requirement and the team tries to deliver it in the shortest possible time. And the final idea is to receive feedback from stakeholders or from the customer. So it's a 3-step process. First, to determine the problem to be solved, identify minimal set of feature to test the hypothesis and validate the learning from customer. Just to give a simple example, if you are planning to launch a website, it's always a good idea to first understand what problem you are trying to solve that others are not solving it in the market. Second, try to provide the initial version to the customer or to a small group of people and test your hypothesis, how they feel about your website, what's the UI looking at, whether they are able to navigate to the various options that you are providing, what's the time they are spending on your website, and various dimensions can be tested. Take feedback from the customer. Now here, the idea is, of course, to build minimum features. So the strength is, of course, it's less expensive, and also it reduces cost to a great extent right at the beginning, because now the team knows what need to be built going forward in the next quarters or in the next 6 months. As there is no defined formula, what are these minimal set of features? Sometimes the team misinterpret the top features as well, and then they try to build some quick and dirty solution that might not be required by the customer at all. So that's the limitation of it. Sometimes nowadays, this minimal viable product is also used as prototyping or getting projects. So suppose if there is an organization that outsource part of its IT support or IT work, it asks for RFP or RFI, and in that case, vendors usually provide small set of prototype or MVP to its client to validate their understanding and impress them. There also, it is nowadays used frequently. Let's move on to the next technique now.